Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. My name's Rich Tehrani. Thank you for watching us. Today we are up in Boston, Massachusetts, and we are interviewing a number of tech leaders in the New England area. And on our program right now is Pat Kelly, and he's a CEO of OnState. Hey Pat, how are you?
Good, Rich. Thanks for having me out.
Likewise, thank you for being here, braving the absolutely frigid temperatures.
It is, but at least the sun's out, so it looks better than it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I was hoping we could start out talking a little bit about OnState. I know that I was fortunate enough to be one of the first people to write about the company years ago when it first launched. And so why don't you give us an overview of what the company's doing now?
Yeah, so just again by way of background, the team at OnState is the former Geotel team, which is the core for Cisco's call center products. OnState's a pure software play. We originally entered the market via a partnership with Skype, so we were providing services not only to the small and medium businesses, but to larger businesses or departments within larger businesses that had large geographic distributed teams or international operations. Since we briefed with you last time, we've expanded those partnerships to include Google. We've now embedded our product inside of the Google Apps environment. We're launched from what Google calls their one bar, so the same place where you access your mail and calendars and that. And that's been a great market. As you're aware, Google, through Google Apps, has done a stunning job in getting extremely large deployments, both within multinational corporations and in the government. Most recently, I think the GSA, via Unisys and Acumen, went down the Google path. And we've also, not that we don't work with traditional networks, about 70% of our customers do work on a SIP-based network. We've entered into agreement here locally up in Rochester. Some people consider that extended New England. With Paytech. We're now embedded in an element within the Paytech environment and able to provide our software-based services through the Paytech network directly to their customers. So it's been a good year, and working with you and your team has really helped to get us on the map, helped get some brand recognition, awareness. We're really looking forward to working next year.
Thank you for the nice plug. I appreciate that. So you've been doing an awful lot of different things and working with an awful lot of different partners, and so you're obviously seeing then that cloud-based applications are coming of age if Google is indeed becoming a larger and larger part of your business, right?
Correct, and we also do a lot of work with Salesforce as well. So our go-to-market strategy has been a little atypical from a traditional telecom or particularly a telephony environment. We will at some point go through traditional reseller channels and that, as we mature our offering and the company matures as well. But we've essentially just gone side by side with other SaaS applications. So a business decides that they're going to use Salesforce for a sales or support operation. We're a nice add-on to that. A person decides that they're going to replace Microsoft Exchange or Lotus Notes or something with Google Mail and Google Apps. We're a nice add-on for that. So our sales have really come through those channels, which aren't really traditional, telephony and telecom channels. So we've had a tendency to be kind of a pull-along or a drag-along through those types of deals. And then we're now starting to expand out into more traditional telephony channels to wit the relationship with Paytech as a starter.
That's great. And so what's a typical customer size?
Yeah, well, they're really all over the map. So I'd like to look at it in terms of user size. So we have 3 to 100 user environments. Sometimes the number is equivalent to the size of the organization, so 3-man bands. But a lot of times it's a department within an existing company. Cognex Computer Vision, who's a local firm here out of Natick, Mass, is a great example. Large multinational company. We were approached by individual business units who were trying to solve sales and support operations across a geographically distributed sort of environment, in their case international. So the business manager, who has 2 criteria for us, because we're all browser-based, there is no equipment to install, so they need credit card and attitude, probably in that order. Well, I guess attitude has to come first. So we typically go through that type of sales channel, and it's much later in the stream that we actually would, if ever, get engaged with the telecom group. As those types of deployments expand, then obviously they need to play a role over time. But it's a very different application deployment. It's a very different go-to-market model.
Are there any companies with user sizes that are too large for your company to work with?
Not too large from an architectural standpoint. As you work with much larger companies, they put pressure on your infrastructure, both from a sales engagement and a sales management. So you're typically transitioning from a more of a telesales sort of engagement to a bag carrying, feet on the street type of sales model. Large organizations sometimes bring baggage for legal engagements, program management engagements. But the nice thing about us from a scaling standpoint is since we're not a switch, we turn the networks into virtual switching infrastructure. We're as big as the network we connect to. If we connect to Paytech, we're instantly as big as their network reach. When we connect to a Verizon, ditto. So for us, I think it's just measured growth, and you build the back end customer engagement and management models to deal with the larger opportunities, as opposed to having a very thorny challenge, which is you have to figure out how to build bigger and bigger boxes or come up with those challenges. And those are hard. We've done those in the past. Those are hard problems to solve. We like the pure software controlling the network approach.
Now, are you hearing that your customers are looking to access more and more services via mobile devices?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the first stage is when somebody's in a very customer service-centric model, they're probably in situ, at least for a moment, whether they're working from home, working for an office, or what have you. And there, the primary device of choice is a soft phone in a PC with a $37 headset. Sometimes that soft phone takes the form of Skype or Google Talk.
Right.
But mobile devices are increasingly of interest to field sales and field support individuals. But the first place where we got pressure was from the people who are managing the operations. They wanted to use their iPads to configure our system or to look at operational characteristics. Where are my people? What are they doing? How are they doing? So it was first, the management reporting was the first push point. But that's quickly being followed by people wanting to access features from their iPad devices or iPhone devices. Now, since we're not in the market, recreating, yet another VoIP client to run on yet another mobile operating system, we utilize the likes of Skype and Google and Counterpath with their components. As those companies diffuse their capabilities out into every device, it just works for us. We don't have to go off and build it ourselves.
It's great to hear.
We're about indexing people. Who are you? What do you do? How well do you do it? I monitor you because I need to know where you are and what you're doing right now. I hence measure you, and then I allow people to manage you. So we're all about the index, monitor, measure, and manage. And other people, Apple, Counterpath, Google, are doing a fabulous job on devices and device proliferation. So, and again, it kind of begs the question. Not dissing my compatriots that have built good switching infrastructures, but increasingly people are nowhere near in proximity to the switching infrastructure. So you end up sending calls to a box that no longer has a relationship with the user anymore and has to come back out of the box, back in the network, and we kind of skip that layer. We just say, I'm controlling the network. I know you're here. Oh, nope, now you're over here. I'll just tell the network where you are and how to find you.
So what's next with the company?
Growth. Growth and growth probably is going to require more cash. So we'll probably go down both bringing some more investors into the fold and then focusing on sales and marketing activities. Of course, you always continue to invest in R&D and the back-end support, but it's time for us to make more noise where the product's mature enough. The market has certainly, as I indicated before, we're really a pull-through on general SaaS phenomena. And that market, as you're well aware, has just really exploded last year or two. Decision processes are fundamentally different. They're much more diffuse in the organization. So it's a time for us to take the next step, and it's a time for us to re-engage with you all and have you help shepherd us down that path.
Great. Well, thanks for being here, and we're looking forward to hearing about your future progress and chronicling that growth.
Great. Thanks again for your time. Appreciate it.